I keep trying. Wait, the wire is under the pillow. I use the wire to unlock the cell door. Yes. Yeah. I wish they were a little more cooked because they were kind of crunchy. I like potato a little more mushy. Like in the center. Now to scope the buildings out and assess the situation before the next patrol. Yes, I remember this. I don't know why they tell me how to do that now. Oh wait, I forgot. This must be one of the guardsman's swords. It seemed to have been rusted considerably. He decided to take it just to be safe. Yeah. Yeah, it does. I have already equipped it. I thought for a sec, wait, have I even equipped that? I don't know why they're giving me a tutorial of something that I should already know. Only corpses managed to get out of here. Abandon all hope and dreams of ye who know what's good for you. Oh yeah. You found a single sheet of paper mixed in with everything else. The inmate in question is under heavy suspicion of agitation, mental instability, and crimes of the highest order. I hereby request both words and actions of the inmate remained unheeded. Raisins. Someone's coming right this way. You don't have enough time to hide. Well, 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 what do we have here? A crafty little rat who fled his cage. But unfortunately, your little prison escapade ends here. You just won yourself a one-way ticket to solitary. Bet you can't wait, can ya? I was just getting some fresh air. Oh, just taking a walk, are you? Ha! As if that will get you out of this. But you know, you're pretty calm for an inmate who just got busted. Huh. How amusing. Fine, I'll let you off easy this time. Go on, stroll whenever you please. Not sure if I can trust you. Says the guy who's trying to break out of prison. Thanks, I needed a good laugh. Any normal guy would have clicked his heels and made a break for it by now. Of course, I'd have gladly just captured him there and increased his sentence. But you're not just any normal inmate. I like you, redhead. So I'll tell you what. I really will let you off for now. Wait, what gives me subtle Kaiba vibes? We'll chat again next time we meet. I trust you'll be just as amusing then. Wait, what gives me subtle Kaiba vibes? I love that group. You can sense the guard moving further away. Oh yeah, Cheesy's not serving until like 15 minutes. I was just like, wait, shouldn't Cheesy start serving soon? You can sense the guard moving further and further away. It seems he really does intend to let you go. His word still leaves you unsettled, but you need to hurry on ahead. This one is also really easy. This first little escapade is like the shortest and the easiest. Balduke's cityscape sprawls below. They must be holding you in some sort of prison tower. The glow of the lights brightens the night sky. Is there a festival of some kind going on?
It is a pleasant surprise to see you here.
A preposterous surprise, to be sure.
Ugh.
I am aware of your encounter with the Monstroms earlier.
I mentioned before, don't really enjoy that woman.
So what has you hurrying back to the prison so soon?
It's not like the character's bad or anything.
Master Chatalard of the Hieroglyph Knights.
Her personality just rubs me my personality the wrong way. If she was a real person, I would not get along with her. That's what I mean when I say I don't like the character.
Despite how it may appear, I do have business here, Interrogator. Or should I say, the paranormal investigator of the Roman Empire.
Don't call me that, Chatalard. But if you are aware of my title, then you should be aware of the consequences of questioning my actions.
That was not my intention. I was merely curious as to the reason why you acted without Belger's approval.
I do not require his nor your permission to do anything. But you will tell me this. Where is Adol Kristen?
So that is what you are after. It makes sense now. Unfortunately, reports remain that he is still missing after his escape. My negligence is partly to blame for this oversight.
But I'm right here.
Accept my apologies.
I see. Very well. That's quite enough for today. Should you come across any leads regarding his whereabouts, notify me at once. Despite my reluctance, it is my duty to see this mission through.
You have my word.
Yeah, apparently. It's nearly time for your rounds. You should return to your cell. You find your way back by retracing your steps. There's actually a reason for it, and I know the reason for it. I'm not gonna say what is. They honestly didn't hear me. That is true. But there's something else going on. That honestly, I don't know if I could have figured it out if I played all the games before, but I had no idea. Plot armor, duh! Artisan Lane. If my memory serves, it's in the western part of town. Yes, there's a plethora of wonderful shops, each with its own rich history and culture. From daily necessities to specialty crafts and antiques, all kinds of shopping can be done there. Did something happen there? I've only just heard by word of mouth, but there's been a chain of several burglaries. And that's not all, though. The culprits are said to be none other than the Monstroms. What? I don't want to point any fingers, but it wasn't me. I don't think any of us would do something to draw that much attention. I mean, it really wasn't me. I'm only here for that free drink I was promised. Only a coward would sneak around like that. And if it were me, I'd do it in broad daylight. Several of the Artisan Lane shops have already fallen victim to these thefts. Most recently was the Randall's antique shop. It was broken into just last night. Mr. and Mrs. Randall? You know of them, Krista? You know them, Krista? Yes, they're the kind elderly couple who love that lovely antique shop. The Pendleton Company has been doing business with them for many years now. Stealing from an old mom-and-pop shop. Now that's the lowest of the low. You've become icons of sort recently. There's bound to be those who seek your public image for their own gain. I don't care what people think of us. This kind of stuff happens all the time. That's not even the right voice for him. Anyway, it's not my problem. Talk to me if you need any actual fighting done. Some actual fighting done. Hey! At least he heard us out. He'll come around. I probably just yelled in the mic. I apologize. Oh, I just want to tuck him into bed and shoo all his little worries away. Isn't that right, my adorable Krisha? Huh? I think you're asking the wrong person. Regardless, I advise that we settle this incident before it worsens. When you have a moment, could you go to Artisan Lane and investigate, Adol? Adol? Do you want to come, Krisha? Yes, I would. Thank you very much. I know the couple at the antique shop. I thought it might see if they were okay. No, that's sad, Astro. And, well, I can help you dispel the barrier, too. Well, that settles that. Wouldn't it be nice if all the monsters were this willing to work together? Wait, that was Dogi. Wrong voice. Yes, I have no doubt you two will succeed. I think that was definitely, that was Dogi. Oops, wrong voice for sure. Agreed. There's still much to do. I can't do Chante's voice, I've tried. There, chapter 4. I might go on for a little longer, I don't know. But chapter 4 is kind of long. Well, it's not as, well, it's actually the longest chapter. I kind of don't want to take... This is taking me 4 hours to do a chapter, though. Damn it. Choices. Because it's like, do a chapter... Hey, Adol, you free right now? Someone's new during the crew, and they want to have a word with you. Why don't you say hi before heading out? I don't remember who it is. Oh, it's Silhouette. I know who. Okay. The option is do chapter 4, but we'll possibly miss Cheesy's stream because this might take me 4 hours. I really want to try to get chapter 4 done. We'll go until I'm tired. That's the plan is. We'll go until I'm tired, and then I'll send you guys over to Cheesy. But, like, I don't know how long that will be. I'm down to head to Cheesy's, but either way, I'll keep... Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens, because, like, I do want... I gotta talk to her. Ah, Adol! Perfect timing. I thought right where there's someone I want you to meet. This is my employer, the man I owe my life to, Professor Valen. Yeah, I just don't want to take... Like, I don't want to purposely kind of spread it out, which I wouldn't be, but, like... I want to get as much streaming done as... I don't know. We'll go until I'm tired, which probably won't... I could probably last another 30 minutes. At most, maybe an hour. If I started at the initial time I was planning, like 2... if I started at 2, like I was initially planning, I would 100% continue. Indeed, I'm the anthropologist. A pleasure, I should think. Silhouette here tells me that she wishes to work here to aid the monstroms. But I do not see said monstroms anywhere. I'd hoped to shadow them this week and absorb them for my research. And perhaps I could extract a flesh sample. That may be a tad excessive. Professor? If only I could just get my hands on the secrets of the monstroms. Then I could devise a way to become a monster myself. With that power, I could observe the realm of the evil spirits with my own eyes. Ha ha ha! What a thrilling notion! Professor! I'm sorry, Adol. I didn't mean to cause more trouble to you all. I initially thought Professor Fallon could be helpful to you. But seeing as how he is now, for your sake, we'd better not tell him about the monster. A flesh sample's a little excessive for the Professor. Yeah, definitely a little excessive. And there's one more thing I wanted to tell you. I spoke to Shantae about this too. I'm gonna be the Dandelion's official errand runner. It includes any supplies the bar needs too. 'Tis just a flesh wound. Yeah, 'tis just a flesh wound for sure. This includes any supplies the bar needs too. If you ever think of anything you need, I'll take care of it for you. Are you sure about this? You're a fugitive.
Are you okay?
That's true, but I think I'll be okay. Besides, I don't think anyone remembers who I was, or that I was a prisoner anyways. Even Park said it was unlikely that I'd be in prison again. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being naive. I'm just naive. But I understand the cause for concern. It's risky to be lingering in public for too long. I'll only go out to shops where I need to go, and I'll come straight back. I'll do my best to keep an eye keep out of sight. Just let me know what you need and I'll get it. Oh, and it would also be helpful if you tell me any new shops you find. It is useful. I think next week, if I do play this again, well, I never know what I'm playing every week because I change so much. But like, if I do plan to play this again, I'll probably play it earlier. The earlier the better.
Are you sure? Any errands you'd like me to run?
Honestly, I'd like more smoked meat, but like, I need to buy some other things first. Hey, look!
Are
mushrooms.
you sure? Call for me whenever you like.
Okay. Villain. I keep calling villain, but it's Valiant. Fallon. I had thought that I would meet the mushrooms here, but it appears I was mistaken. But that is water under the bridge. Silhouette here has informed me that you have been exploring the city of Balduke. You must have been witness to the instances of graffiti around the city. They did stand out to me. Interesting. It seems you have an eye for cultural significance, just like I do. As I stated in my introduction, I am an anthropologist. Put it simply, I study all manners of human behavior and culture. Professor Villain confirmed! Oh no! The bulk of my research lies in the history of mankind, but I also study the contemporary. I don't know the word. Contemporary. That's the word. Hit him with a stick. He is useful. I'm not gonna hit him with a stick. Those graffiti are the quintessence of modern thought and emotion. God damn it. They're prime research material for an anthropologist like myself. You want me to look for them? How astute of you, my boy. If you spot any graffiti in the city, do report your finding to me. Once you find a certain number of them, I will compensate you accordingly. Of course, the choice is yours. I'll only hope you all oblige me. I don't know if I have enough yet. No, I don't. I haven't looked a lot. I need like one more. That's really sad. I literally need one. It's always at increments of 10. Or 15, it depends, but it's usually at 10 or 15. Oh, well, hello there. It's lovely to see you again. You're an employee here, aren't you? You should have told me sooner. You know, this bar has just the most charming ambience. It had me smitten at first sight. Please, places like this make me feel right at home. So, plan on seeing me a lot more of me around. That's for sure. Rumor has it the prison warden was snuffed out for good by the Hawk. Suppose the whole thing would have been better off just left the night after all, huh? Do that. Oh, you got a recipe book. Give me the word and I'll have a crack at it. Food is good.
Don't be a stranger.
Look at this. There's so many short quests. It's rare when I get a medium quest. It's so rare when I get a medium quest in this game. I am stuck in a wall. No, I'm actually stuck on a door frame. I don't have a sacramental book. Oh, that's Dogi. Oh, I can now do the Lux Cannon. Lovely. Can I make the Lux Cannon?
Alright, let's get to prepping.
I can make the Lux Cannon, yes!
What do you think? Leave it to me.
I can hit the Lux Cannon with a stick.
What do you think? Let's do
I can do
this.
both.
What do you think? Leave it to me. What do you think?
When I was playing this, my first playthrough, I totally forgot about upgrading things. And I'm not joking when I say I totally forgot. I got all the way to like the 7th chapter, and then I had too many issues where I had to fully upgrade everything. That's not the right button again. I keep trying to hit X. Adol, did you receive my message? I see. Forgive me for taking your time. I understand how busy you must be. I learned of a certain prisoner who was falsely convicted. I was going to request this of Dogi and the others, but it seems quite the momentous task. I realize it would take the monstrums in your powers for this to be successful. Would you like to consider my proposal? Only if you're able to, of course. I'm more than happy to help you. Honestly, these quests are very helpful because it makes the game easier. Hard mode is literally just not doing any of the quests, and I don't want it any more hard mode than it already is. If the information I have is accurate, then the individual is not your average citizen. To start, she's merely a young girl. Why was she arrested? The reasons have been several. Still, there's no justification for placing a young girl as her in prison. My information places her in the cell on the top floor of the central ring. It's not going to be easy getting there. I agree. It won't be easy at all. The central ring is one of the most secure sectors due to the warden's office being there. It would be the best to prepare by selecting an optimal information plan before entering. I need the guard's patrol routes. Good thinking, Adol. That's precisely what you need to reach the central ring. Also keep in mind that the comprehensive layout of the prison is a well-kept secret. Even the guards are kept in ignorance of the sectors outside their own. It could be precaution to discourage bribing the guards. I just remembered. There's a black market dealer who operates in the Central District. I hear he possesses very rare items that can't be acquired through normal means. There's a sliver of a chance that he might have information about the prison's layout. Even if he doesn't, he might have clues as to where he can find some information. Christian and I will look for him. Brilliant. The girl has connections that are that girl has connections that are indispensable at times like these. I think the difficulty that's crucial task. This is a difficult that's crucial task, Adol. I don't have dried meat. I am going to need to get some. Oh, look, no flowers.
Adol.
Oh, I had nothing better to do, so I thought I'd polish the lantern. You know, I'd never had a chance to visit Artisan Lane before. I've never had much experience fighting, so I'd happy to have you all help me. Maybe I can dispel all the barriers. I'll get to see even more new places. Sorry, I didn't mean to get all sappy on you. Anyways, the robberies are more important than for the time being. I don't think I have any meats, do I? I do not. I need to actually buy some smoked meat. And a fair amount of it, but I'm buying that book first. Do 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 do. Woo! I can now hold 2 sacramentals. Oh no no no! My wings, no!
Hey there, welcome. Just got some good stuff in.
Why is my phone going off? Okay, my phone went nuts, but it was not bad reading. Have you seen Cheesy's shirt? No, I haven't. Hold on, I gotta pull up the stream on my phone. Give me a sec, because I can't pull up another tab. Is it a platy type shirt, or is it something more shocking? Oh my, yeah, I see his shirt. It is an interesting shirt, that's for sure. Very colorful. It's like one of those beach shirts. Yep, yep. I need to buy more than 4. I can only buy 4.
Still need some. Alrighty then.
I dig it, but I wouldn't wear it. Yeah, similar.
Hey, so I'll take everything you got.
Yes, I have just enough.
Okay. Wanna look somewhere? Bye-bye. See you later.
I don't have enough money though. That's a problem. I need literally 20 more. All this talk of monstrums distracts from the real threat behind the city walls. There are abnormally large beasts and other monsters are gathering in packs. We're very fortunate they haven't been hungry enough to attack Balduke yet. Ideally, the garrison and the knights turn their attention outside and not on the monstrums. I do agree. I feel that both in IRL, never had enough Moonies. Yeah, feel that both IRL and in games. Yep. I feel that so much. Master Chatalard is Glea's. Yeah, Glea's pride and joy above anyone else. Honor be to the Hieroglyph Knights. Yeah, I feel that so well. Ow! That did a lot. Cheating the system, getting health. Yeah, I feel that really hard. Cause, I face that a lot. No, the PC is running fine. I just recently got a new DisplayPort cable. Because I got fed up with my VGA. Cause it made streaks on the computer screen. So I got a new display to HDMI port cable. Cause, my monitors are HDMI. So, yeah. Then, when I'm playing a game, and I switch between screens, if I do it too many times, sometimes the other screen glitches out a little. But aside from that, it's fine. I'm enjoying it a lot. I've almost beat Wise 1 on the PC. Because I enjoy it so much. Like, I've almost played 10 hours of that game. But then again, I'm stuck on the final boss, so I'm a little mad right now. Meow. Meow.
How troublesome.
Well, if this isn't my favorite little darlings. Working hard, I take it? I'm stuck in Wise 1 because the final boss has become a nightmare bullet hell. And this is on normal mode. Hi, Shantae. And you too, Mr. Rosenkopf. I just inhaled popcorn. That is a tiny piece of kernel that now just went down my throat. That was bad. Oh, is this your first time meeting? This is your first time meeting, isn't it, Adol, my dear? Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Rosenkopf. He's the owner here of Le Bistro Blanc. Yeah, it did hurt. Hello there. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm 1000% sure Lucky just said this is your first time reading? What? No! What? What the fuck? Mr. Rosenkopf here is a business neighbor of the Pendletons. We often have him cater for us. And no, Astro, no! That implication. Oh, are you already familiar with him too, Shantae? Oh, I've known him for quite a while. He and I are fellow culinary artistes, after all. Popcorn fell down on my shirt. Not my fault. My ears no work. We get together for a little advice session every now and then, just like this. An advice session is something the matter, Rosencroft. Mr. Rosencroft? Rosscroft? Oh, yes. As it so happens, I was thinking of expanding our menu in the near future. Namely, bringing back a local specialty that the previous owner's management. Unfortunately, We've had a rather rough time figuring out where to start. A local specialty? Now that you mention it, I think I remember a dish when I was little. I assumed ownership here upon introduction by the local eatery after the war 8 years ago. As such, I never had the dish myself, but the townfolk consider it quite a delicacy. Sadly, however, all but fragments of the recipe have been lost to the ravages of war. And the previous owner took any clues with him when he passed a few years back. As such, I'd like to help. But I'm afraid that I'm at loss with this. If only we knew the ingredients that were used, then we might be able to recreate it. Perhaps it would be more constructive to think of a new menu entirely. Mr. Rosecroft could really use your help. What do you think, Adol?
Yeah.
Give me a new recipe, so yes. Aren't you a sweetheart? I couldn't ask for anything more. Are you sure it isn't any trouble? I gotta try the dish myself. IRL, I do want to actually try this dish, but I don't have the recipe. IRL. I'd actually want to try it. It has the seafood stuff and goodness. Naturally, I'd be willing to compensate your efforts with a good meal. It's the least I can do in return for your assistance. It's a deal then. As for where we can start, there have to be people around here who remembered the dish to some extent. If you find them and ask, we might be able to figure out what the ingredients are. Oh, no, that's what I do. I can say with some certainty that the dish incorporates both seafood and vegetables. Perhaps you can ask someone with a great deal of knowledge about either. That would make our best bet. That's the main square market in the agricultural district. Oh my god. Mouth no work. Except for eating. Alright. Even though I can only vaguely recall the dish myself, it does mean that there's a chance that Charlotte remembers it too. More than I do, at least. Let's start asking around. I got a full little kernel of salt right on my tongue. Sometimes there's Roman garrison here, and sometimes the Tower of Knights. As if assaulting the chapter house wasn't enough, now the Hawk's a common thief. He may have wounded my dignity as a knight, but he'll never lower my guard. Worst comes to worst, I'll lay down my life if I must to protect the people of this city. Well, that's a good attitude, I guess. Wow. I should go to Charlotte first because she's the closest. And I could work on the bathhouse one at the same time because that takes less time. I'm literally trying to figure out the least amount of time possible needed to deal with all this. Oh. Not right button! Oh, it's fuel. Something the matter? Ah. Well, actually, there's something we wanted to ask you, Carla. You asked Carla if she knows anything about the bistro's long-lost specialty. I see, so you're planning to recreate this then. We hope so, anyways. We were thinking you might remember it better than I can. Well, I was pretty young at the time myself, so I only have a vague recollection. But I do remember one thing, the broth was warm, soothing, like a herbal soup. herbal soup, huh? Huh. It was the most delicious part, which with all sorts of simmering spices and fish. You were so small back then, but you always make room to ask for an extra helping of soup. Did I really? Sounds familiar. I'm not even trying right now to do voices. I'm more captivated by this popcorn. Calling it herbal does sound a little unappetizing, but if even kids like us liked it, one sip of the soup could draw in just about anyone, no matter what their tastes. You know, I think I actually have the recipe written down in my room somewhere. Wait, you do? Well, you had this awful cold a long time ago, so I asked the owner how to make it. And, the memories. He was such a kind old man, and wonderful with kids at that. Oh yeah, I remember that too, definitely. It shouldn't take long to dig it up. Do you mind waiting for a bit? Not at all, thanks Carla. Popcorn, I'm almost on the popcorn. Vessel broth recipe achieved. Now, hold on, I'm almost done. Well, okay. Done now. Inhaled more popcorn. Frick.